How to lead yourself. How can you accelerate your career through self-leadership, which is a huge point, and find out what kind of leader you want to be, how you want to show up, and also become the type of leader that's able to get feedback and further accelerate your career, and one that will really enable the team. These are the concepts we're going to talk about in this video right now. Being a leader really is about leading yourself so that you can serve others. So when I say, let's get exponential career growth, that is an outgrowth of really serving and giving to other people. Because it's not so much what we tell people to do, it's more about what we show people and the kind of environment and energy and culture that we create around ourselves. So when we say lead ourselves, that's not like you should do this, blah, blah. It's not a shaming thing. It's hey, you're going to have so much more growth if you really start here first, because this is the truth that I wish everybody knew throughout the world, through all ages of time. Whatever you are as the leader is what your crew will be, is what your team will be, is what your job will be, is what your company will be. If you see habits, have you ever gone to a business and you're like, oh my gosh, they're like all running around fighting fires. They're a little bit undisciplined. They're always working too many hours. They're distracted. Why is this happening? And then you meet the leader and you're like, oh, that's how that leader is. And then you're like, oh, it makes sense. Because not only is that leader promoting people that are like him or her, but that leader is also hiring people that are like him or her, setting an example for behaviors like him or her, reinforcing and rewarding behaviors like he or she has, and is creating this culture. So whatever's here is what you'll have on the job. And I always say that if you have a dirty job, it's because you have a dirty mind. If you have a late job, it's because you have a late mind. If you have a pissed off, bad morale job, it's because you have a pissed off, bad morale mind. Whatever you have on your job site is exactly what's in your head. So the great news about that is that we're not victims of circumstance. The great news is that we can change it at any time just by changing ourselves or leading ourselves. So I'm going to give you some tips right now on how you can do that. So being a leader to yourself really involves taking ownership for your personal growth, setting goals, making key decisions for your future and your leadership, and cultivating habits that align with your values and your goals. So these next 11 steps will help you to get there. Number 1, set clear goals. This means for yourself. In the description below, I'll link you to a video about how to set career goals. But here's the key. You should have long-term career goals which are big and hairy and audacious, like Jim Cullen says, that will really lead you to a remarkable life. But those goals should be broken down at least into the next 90 days. What are the goals for your next 90 days? So that you don't overestimate what you can accomplish in this amount of time, or you don't underappreciate or underestimate what you can accomplish in a short amount of time. If your long-term goals are too big, they're hard to approve and they're hard to start. If you have goals in the next 90 days, they're easy to approve, easy to start, and then you'll have that compounding interest when it comes to goals. So decide, who are you? What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? Where do you want to go, both personally and professionally? Because that will start to shape what you want, and now you can start to shape who you're going to be or how you're going to act as a leader. When you set these goals, please make sure that they're SMART goals. You've heard this before. All of my HR homies are out there on the other end being like, I love Jason, he's so great. Make sure the goals are SMART by making them specific, measurable, actionable, relevant to your position or where you want to go and to your goals, right? And time-based. If they are, you'll have amazing goals, and you as a leader will be on your way to becoming the kind of professional that you want to become. Number 2, self-awareness. Developing that self-awareness. This is huge, actually. And some people like personality profiles, some people don't. Hey, it's a start, right? And I really like them. There was a point in my career where I started to take personality profiles, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah, it says I'm good at this. Oh my gosh, I am good at that, right? Not only is that a confirmation bias, but you can check with your family and your stuff. You're like, yeah, I am good at that. That elevates your identity, right? And then if you look at different strengths, areas where you might not be super strong, you can say to yourself, hey, I'm going to go ahead and overcome that by implementing these tactics or by defaulting to this process or having these double checks, right? You're strengthening your base, right? And then you can get to a spot, and we'll cover this later on as well, but where you're starting to like ask people, hey, what are some of my blind spots? Where can I improve? My spouse tells me this. My mentor tells me this. Being aware, self-aware of what you are good at and where you might need some development will really help you to head along the path towards those goals and to really start to strengthen your strong points and shore up areas where you might need some help or get some help when needed. Number 3, that takes initiative. And so number 3 is to take initiative. If you want to be a leader, no one, and I do mean no one, will give it to you. No one will push you there. You've got to ask, you've got to learn, you've got to grind, you've got to study, you've got to improve, you've got to be able to do those hard things, right? There have been things in my life which were like gut-wrenchingly hard things, right? Dealing with how I interacted with people, letting go of the illusion of control, starting to partner with other people in my business, accepting other people's weaknesses, understanding that I was a little bit judgmental. Like there's like really hard looking in the mirror type things that you're going to have to deal with. Take the initiative to push through those, to push through and learn new skills, to push through and overcome and to have breakthroughs, and to push through and ask for the things that you need and to go get it. Number 4, and this is huge, practice self-discipline. So if you've developed habits, if you know what you need to do to improve, if you know what a personal organization system should look like, if you know where you're headed, be disciplined about it. How you do one thing is how you do everything, and how you do big things is determined by how you do small things. The best leaders in this industry, or anywhere for that matter, master their time, master their personal organization, master their health, master their study habits, master their relationships. They are disciplined with small things because they know it extends to all of the big things. 5, and this is huge. I know I keep saying this is huge, but this is such a good video. Like, I just love it. In fact, it's so good. I would love for you to like and comment there so that the algorithm can get this out to other people, because this is huge. 5, develop a learning habit. You are not done when you're done with high school. You are not done when you're done with college. You are not done when you're done with that license or certification or exam, right? Or, passing the bar or whatever it is, your license, your test, or whatever it is. You are never done learning. Here are some habits that changed my life. Try to read a book a week or a book a month. Go to certification trainings. Go learn these new best practices throughout the industry. Go tour other projects, other companies, and constantly be looking at what other people are doing. Stay current with trends, right? Be referencing magazines. Stay current with the news. Stay current with new technologies. Go to conventions. Go to conferences, right? Develop that habit, and the industry here's an important point, will pay you in correlation with how much you know from your training and your education program, and your team will thrive based on what you know. 6, prioritize your well-being and make sure you're setting an example. You as a leader have got to take care of your health. You've got to go to your doctor's appointments, your dentist appointments. You've got to eat right. You've got to go exercise. You've got to take thinking time. You've got to manage your stress and manage your time. And if you're like, I don't really care about that, you have to if you're going to be a leader, because you're leading other people and they will do whatever you do. This one ties into it. Number 7 is set clear boundaries, right? If you don't set clear boundaries with how many hours you work, or with, being available on PTO, right, which you shouldn't have to do, or you don't have boundaries with your health or your safety or how people treat you, then as a leader, I'll do quotes on that one, your people will see that you don't set boundaries and they won't set boundaries. You as a leader have got to set boundaries with what you will and will not do, all according to fair and best practices, and make sure you never forget your worth and your value as an individual. Number 8, and I love this, always seek reflection and ask for feedback. If you want to become the kind of leader you want, ask for feedback, always and forever. And your team will tell you, and my team has told me, hey Jason, sometimes you don't listen. Sometimes you're a little bit stubborn. Sometimes when things get stressful, you go into business mode, right? And I'm fixing those things. And I constantly hear from the team, hey Jason, we see you're getting better. We see you're improving. We see you're communicating more clearly. And they trust me and they love me and they appreciate me. And I'm getting better and setting a better example. Number 9, stay resilient. Don't get too triggered. Learn methods for how to be emotionally resilient, how to adapt to change, how to take feedback, how to deal with hard situations, and then to recover and reset, right? So be flexible and be resilient. Number 10, and this is huge, lead by example. If you want something done, do it yourself. If you want a habit, have that habit yourself. If you want a system to be followed, follow that system yourself. Whatever you do by example is what everybody else will do under your leadership. And number 11, just remember, pushing people to do stuff, do, will not make for a better outcome. If you want a better outcome, you will follow these practices and improve and help yourself and put on your mask first. Like they say on the plane, before you help somebody else, put on your mask first. Set the example, shape your mindset, improve your career, develop your leadership abilities, and really make sure that you're modeling what you want, and then your team will model that same behavior. So remember, if when you have a critical task, don't just go do. Make sure that you're building the team first. As a part of this video, I'm going to link you in the description below to a beautiful presentation that covers these points that you can use. It's in Canva. I'll give you the viewable link. And if you ever need help with this, let us know. I just did a training on this at a PM bootcamp recently, which was really transformational. And if you ever want to, I'd love to give this kind of presentation to you and your company. If it's remote and only to an hour, I'll do it for free. And if it's something other than that, we can plan a remarkable event. Reach out to us if you ever need anything. I hope you've enjoyed and loved this video. On we go.